Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we have a Caterpillar 323C compact roller. Someone's already been working on it. It doesn't crank, doesn't start, nothing works at all. So we're going to check it out and see what's wrong with it and get the sucker going again. As you can see, it's a fairly old machine and someone's already been working on it. You can look in there and see all the butt splicers and loose wires. So someone's already been doing some work on it, so hopefully, let's see what it does. Turn the key. Nothing. Okay. Let's go from there. Let's take a look around. Starter appears to be intact. It's got a battery. It looks brand new. Everything looks complete except for this. Got wires cut, splice, the ignition switch is in there, so I guess we'll get a tester and start from here. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut on the key and see if any of these wires have power coming to them, and then we'll go from there. Let me get some wire trimmers and we'll trim the ends first. Looks like they've been cut. Let's trim these wires so we can actually test them and see if they have power or continuity with another wire. Okay, that one. This one needs to be trimmed as well. Looks like someone cut these wires for some reason. Okay, there's a wire right here. Don't know where that goes. Sometimes the operators don't want to work. They want to go home, so they do a little bit of sabotage, so the work can't continue. Okay, let's check and see if we got any power on anything. First thing we do, set the meter for DC voltage. Okay, that's on DC voltage. We'll set it like right here out of the way. Hope it won't fall down. Turn the key on. Key's on. Let's see if any of these. We'll put one on the ground. Doesn't matter what, just the frame of the machine. See if any of them have 12 volts. No 12 volts there yet. No 12 volts there. Let's see if this one has 12 volts. No 12 volts. Okay. This one here. Let's see if this one has 12 volts. Let's disconnect this one here. See if this one has 12 volts to it. Nope. None of them have 12 volts. So, we need to first check the fuses. Key's on, so there should be power here somewhere. Let's see. That's the neutral switch. This one here, right here, should have power on this side. Let's see what we got. 0, no voltage. Okay, so nothing has voltage. Let's check the fuses and see if maybe one of the fuses are blown. Oh, it looks like we have here a contactor. Looks like. Okay. Let's move the camera around here. Now you see that one right there? That looks like a contactor. See, you got two thick red here, red there. So, and they got a couple small wires. So that's either a starter relay or a contactor. which means is when you turn the key, this one here cuts on and puts power to all of your devices to cut on. Nothing will work if you don't plug this. So nothing, my power will work unless this one is activated first, and it's activated by the switch normally. But I noticed there's a wire here, so it should be this wire right. That's a ground. That's a black wire. So that one's probably a ground. Or is it blue? No, this is black. Okay, that is the coil wire. This is the activation right here. So these wires here push it up, contact this side to that side, connects those wires to that wire, and that will cut everything on. So we got to find out. This one here probably comes from the switch. This one right here appears to be a contactor relay, and what that does is, see, this has got a little wire here. It has two wires, one's for positive and one's for negative. So you put the ignition key in. This is a caterpillar, so we'll find the caterpillar key. You turn the key. Now right now this has two wires right here in there. One of them will be connected to the frame, which is ground, and the other one is positive, which will come from the key. When you turn the key to the run position, there should be 12 volts coming into one side, and the other side's already connected to the ground. So that causes this thing to close up. This one here comes straight from the battery, and when the ignition gets turned on, 12 volts comes through. See, it's got two wires. One of them is already to ground. It puts power to the other side. That closes this up. It closes this side, which has 12 volts from the battery, straight from the battery, to this side. And when it goes over to this side, it cuts on all of your accessories, your functions. That's why we have no voltage over there. Now, when this thing kicks on, it should close this and send voltage to this side. Now, you would hear it click. It's not clicking. I didn't hear anything. So I don't think it's working, but we'll find out for sure. There's two things we can do. The first one, we can see if the relays turn on if we jump it by, just to see if there's voltage going to one side. Okay, hear that click? That sends power to the controls that actually turns the machine on. Okay, so the next step would be to see this one right here. It's coming from the key. With the key off, one should be going to ground always. So we'll check and see if one's going to ground. We'll put the meter on continuity. That's this right here. And you put it there. If you have a complete circuit, if the wire's not broken, then it will beep. To test it, you put the two leads together. Hear that beep? That means there's nothing open between this one and that one. It goes all the way through there. And when it's not connected, it says OL, which means open line. So one of these should be already directly to ground. Let's see if it's not missing a ground. Okay, hear that? I ground the same thing, which is connected to the ground by the screws. So that one is the ground side. That means there's one on the other side. See? No continuity. That one has to be the positive wire. Okay, so let's check for voltage. When the key turns on, the other wire should have 12 volts. Right there is 12 volts DC. Right there. See that? That means DC voltage. We're just going to check on how much now. Let's go ahead and leave it up here somewhere so it can be seen. More or less. Oh, wait a minute. Where's the thing at? There we go. It's got a little stand on it. Okay. Now, the other wire, let's turn the key on. The one that's not ground should have 12 volts to ground. That cuts the relay on. Now to let you know the problems with the switch or with the relay. So we got it there, and we go to ground again. And we got, let's check it again. Oh, we got 12 volts. I lost it again. Let's get a good contact. Yeah, 11.93. So that means there is power coming to this switch. Now let's cut the key off and see if we still get it. Key's off. no voltage. So when the key gets cut on, it does have a ground and it is getting power. That means this thing here is not clicking. It's not turning on. So this part here is bad. So let's plug it in just in case I had a bad connection or something. But it didn't click. You see, you heard those relays click because it's getting 12 volts power to it. So it should have made a little click. If I put, it should have clicked on. So it's no good. Here, click. It should do that by itself when the key's on. Put the key on, no click. Hear that? So this thing, it's not working. And then from there, we can work on getting it to crank. So I don't have one of these. I have one that's similar that might possibly work. I don't know if it works or not. So let's test it. Now this one right here comes off a 2001 Ford pickup truck. They also had them on the 1983 Ford Econoline vans and everything. You can buy one of these at O'Reilly's for around $20 to $30. You can buy them on Amazon for about, I'd say, $8. And what this does is basically the same thing as that. You see, one says signal and one says ignition, and this is your ground. So they're different. Some of them you put power to this one and this one, and this one closes to that one. And some goes from, you put power to the eye and to the ground, and then that closes this one to that one. So we're going to test it and see which is which and see if it actually works, if it has continuity. Let's test it, see if it's any good, because it came off of something and I don't know what it was, but actually it looks like there's a crack in there. No, we'll have to go buy one. This one is no good. I see that it must have been overheated or something because it's got a crack in it. But let's test it anyway. You know what I just noticed? Look at those relays right there. Every single one of them says 24 volts DC. And you know what? I only saw one battery in this machine. That means someone took one of the batteries. With one battery, you can only get 12 volts. And nothing will work on the machine because it will need 24. Let me check again and make sure it doesn't have two batteries. See that? Only one battery. With one battery, you can only get 12 volts. And I checked the starter, it says 24. I checked the alternator, it says 24 volts. This relay would not work because it needed 24 volts. And so does that one. And all of those relays in there need 24 volts also. So the reason why it wouldn't work is because they're missing a battery. I'm gonna borrow a battery and we'll come back and try it out. Okay, I have installed a second battery. Before, the black one was here, the negative, and this positive was right here. On one battery, that makes it only 12 volts. And I didn't know that they had taken a battery out. Somebody needed a battery and they just took it. And they took the jumper. Because now, the negative is here and the positive is here. And then there's a jumper going from this positive to that positive. That puts the battery in series and that makes 24 volts. This machine cannot operate with just one battery. Maybe somebody needed one and they took it and didn't tell the owners, and he called me, but I'm still going to charge. So anyway, that was probably the deal. Somebody took one of the batteries and connected it back up in 12 volts. And the machine cannot work on 12 volts. So what we're going to do now is we're going to give everything a test and make sure everything works. Okay, we got it so it'll start. Let's see if it'll move now. Vibrator. Okay. Oops. Oh, okay, that picks that up. Okay. So everything works. That lift works. It goes forward and backwards. The vibrator works also. All because they were missing a battery. thank you very much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Before you leave, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you on the next one.